Hello there and welcome everyone. We are here for the Armor Up Talks podcast. And I am so happy to be with you today to bring this conversation around doubt. This right here, this Armor Up Talks podcast is the place where we address the patterns that hold us hostage, the eating patterns, the emotional patterns, the energy and fatigue patterns, those blocks, the mindset, all of those things that can hinder us on our trajectory forward in living our life, feeling confident, feeling free. That is what this place is all about, is how do we address those things so that we can continue on with that sense of freedom, with that sense of vitality and vibrancy coursing through us. You know, if I was to ask you a question, what does it mean for you to be free? What does free mean to you? When we're speaking in this realm of our life, living our life free of those blocks, free of those patterns, free of those habits that keep finding us, what does that mean to you to be free? You know, I have some thoughts. When I feel that free feeling, it's lightness of being. There is a confidence there that no matter what transpires, it's all going to be okay. What else comes up when we feel that sense of freedom? That sense of freedom in our life that grounds us. We're grounded, right? When we have that free feeling, we're grounded. We're purpose-driven. We know whatever comes next, we know that we can handle it no matter what. That we've got this. So self-doubt, when in your life have you experienced doubt? Doubt in yourself, doubt in your abilities, doubt in a decision you made. I remember when I was in my 20s, this was a topic that I wrote about in my blog yesterday, and you may have received that email announcing that blog post. Well, in that, I spoke about my experience in my 20s, and it was the time when women's bodybuilding was really on stage, right? It was really coming out in front of us. And this was when it was more of that really sculpting practice, right? It wasn't what it is today. It's a little different today than it was back in the 80s, early 80s and mid 80s, and early 90s even included. But the bodies were just so beautifully sculpted. And I remember looking at those bodies, and I was a personal fitness trainer at the time, and I did such the comparison game on it. Oh, I need to look like that. This is the mindset. I need to look like that in order to be a successful trainer. People aren't going to want what I have to offer unless I look like that, right? And so these doubt statements began playing over and over in my mind. And what happens when we produce those doubt statements over and over in our mind? What happens? Well, typically what's happening is whatever is in our mind, right? So whatever statement I was saying in my mind about my inability to even have those kind of abs, right? To be even shaped like that. And of course, if I have those doubts that I could ever do that, then I'm never going to do it. Have you ever found yourself in that kind of situation where you would love to do something, but you're doubting yourself? And so then all of a sudden your mind is filled with all those doubt statements, and pretty soon you've created all of your doubt statements. So this is a very powerful tool that we have at our disposal, is the mindset and the words that flow through our mind. And if we say them often enough or believe them enough, that they could begin to come true. So how do we find our way through this muck puddle? This is what I call a muck puddle, right up to the knees. We are in those rain boots, and yellow slicker standing in this muck puddle trying to lift our feet out of it, but they don't seem to get out because we flooded ourselves with self-doubt, with doubt statements that have us believing something differently about ourselves than what is really true. Because the truth of who we are is incredible. Every human being has a beautiful truth within them. And through life, because we are geared towards fear, right? Our head brain, it lives and has the fight or flight system in there, right? And this mind is geared around saving our life no matter what, keeping the physical body alive and comfortable no matter what. So anytime we go to stretch ourselves, stretch our wings, so to speak, and begin to fly, self-doubt statements will come in, especially the ones that are rooted from our past, will come in to bring in that doubt to keep us in place. Because, y'all, it's so much more comfortable to stay in that place of discomfort, that place of fear, because it's what we know. Whereas to stretch our wings and fly, we don't know what that feels like, and that's uncomfortable. So the discomfort of not knowing is greater than the discomfort of knowing. And we don't find ourselves lifting ourselves out of that muck puddle until being inside the muck puddle is so uncomfortable that that's more uncomfortable than changing, than shifting. So how do we find our way out of this muck puddle? What if we don't want to get to that point of pain? What if we don't want to get to that pain point that's so big and hurts so much? What if we don't want that? What if we would love to escape the muck puddle before we ever get to that point? How can we walk through the discomfort of growth without the muck puddle pulling us and sucking us back in? How can we walk through that confidently, assuredly? Well, something that I found along the way, especially during those years, I'm in my late 20s, I began having anxiety. Some of you know my story, and that anxiety it held me in the muck puddle. It was like hip deep. It was hip deep on me. And in that time frame, I learned the power of pause. And the power of pause is something I would love to share with you tonight. You know, if you want to look at this more on a lighter scale, we have those days, those moments where we drop our keys, stub our toe, and bump our head, right? It's where it's like things are just falling out of place. Instead of being put in place, they fall out of place. And it's like, wow, what is all this about? Well, it's in those days when I found the power of pause to be so valuable for me. Because if I could just pause, if I could see what was happening, how the chaos was kind of coming in, the self-doubt statements were coming in, the fear was coming in, if I could just pause for a moment and not be afraid of the moment, right? Not be afraid of the moment. The reason why we're so fast, y'all, is a lot of times because we're afraid to stand still inside the moment. Because what if we actually felt the fear? What if we actually felt that fear physiology going through? Could we handle it? Could we be in that and with that and be comfortable? Well, when I was in that midst of anxiety, I would say, oh, no way. I am not comfortable sitting in all that. I want to go as fast as I can so that I don't experience that feeling. What I'm asking you right now is to be brave enough. Find the courage to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, not in fight, not in flight, but in gumption. In that gumption to be in the moment. Do it with me right now. Just be in the moment, present with me. Be in the moment, present with me. And if you are here with me and you have given StreamYard permission, I'm doing this live through the Facebook group. So if you're with me, then feel free to put a comment in there so that I can see it and I can see what you're saying. That would be awesome. So pause with me for just a moment. Just pause. Be present. Allow the thinking mind to focus on your breath. And that's step number 2. Step number 2 is to breathe. And just be with that. Be in that moment with your breath. Now, if you are pausing, let's say you do this in the middle of the day when you've dropped your keys, stubbed your toe, and bumped your head, right? Let's just say it's one of those. And you go to pause and you feel physiology, gut tightening, chest pounding, blood rushing to the head. If you feel all that, then know that that is just your body's response. That, hey, Amy, I do see you. Welcome, girl. Welcome, welcome. That is our body's response to that fight or flight system that our mind is geared around. So if you feel anything in your body, it's simply the physiological reaction to being present in the moment that you've been so afraid of. That fear is coming up. The chaos that's around you is coming up. It's that reflection, right? And so you just be with that and focus on your breath. Bring your attention to your breath, breathing in, exhaling through your mouth. Breathing in, exhaling through your mouth. When we do that, that outward exhale signals the head brain that it's time to shift gears. We're going to shift from that sympathetic, that stress response, that fight or flight mode, into the relaxed mode, into the rest and digest mode of operation. And you continue just focusing on your breath. And the third step, what we do there, when you're ready, after you've taken enough breaths and you feel like you are firmly planted in the present moment, don't do this next step until you are firmly planted in the present moment. You are fully present. Turn away from the self-doubt. In your mind's eye, turn away from that self-doubt. Turn away from that chaos. And simply ask yourself, what is my truth? What is the truth of who I am? What do I represent? I represent peace. I represent love. I represent the magic inside of me. I represent, what is that representation? What do you want to be a reflection of inside your heart? Then bring that feeling to mind. So in the very beginning of this podcast, I asked you, what does free mean to you? And then what would that feel like to you to be free? What does it feel like in your body to be free? This right here is the exact same thing. Whatever it is that the truth of who you are is in that moment, and it could be different in every moment that you ask this, right? But in that moment, what is the truth of who you are? The truth of who you are, what is it? Let that sink into your mind. I am love. I am peace. I am truth. I am faith. Whatever it is that you are, let that. How about I am clarity, right? I am forgiveness. Whatever that is, let that very word, the meaning of the word, seep into your body from the top of your head down to your little bitty toes. Imagine that word, a light over your head, and it's pouring in and coursing through your body. That word, the frequency, the meaning of that word. Frequency is just another word for the meaning of it, what it means to you. Let that flow through you and embed itself into your very being. Put that on. Take a deep breath. Wear it as long as you like in your mind's eye. Once you get it fully on you, right? Then go out and be in your day. Then go out and do your next step in your business. Free of the self-doubt and more in tune with who you are as a person and what your reason for being here is on earth. This is just one step that you can take that will help you eliminate these things. And through the course of this month, I am going to be speaking to this topic around those self-doubt and around the other feelings that we have. I don't want to spoil it because it's coming up in the coming weeks. But those things that we wear, that we put inside our mind and that we play over and over in our mind that hinder us from moving forward. Well, when we have been playing those tapes over and over in our mind, and especially when they're connected to something in our life, it tends to sabotage us from moving forward. So this month, I'm going to be addressing this all month. And today I want to bring into play that power of pause and how beneficial it can be when we have those moments of self-doubt, self-recrimination, and bring in this possibility of resolving these for good. So there is a masterclass I'm going to be introducing the first half of this month. And this masterclass is going to take place on the 16th and the 20th. It's a 2-part masterclass. And I want to invite you to get in on this. It is a powerful, powerful tool. And it is actually the cherry on top, icing, cherry, chocolate shavings, all of that goodness that we put on a sundae. That is what this is in my coaching practice. And I would love to teach it to you so you can use it for yourself in your life when you have these moments of self-doubt and any other feeling that ever comes to mind, those tape recorders about ourselves that we play over and over and over again that keep us from moving forward. So here is the link that you can go to. It's ashleytorian.com/EMRES, EMRES /. And this will take you to the page where it's going to tell you all about emotional resolution and this power of pause and this breathing and this standing in your truth in the moment is just a very simple preliminary step to the depth in which we go in the emotional resolution. And I would love to invite you to that. It is May 16th and 20th. So we have part 1 on the 16th and part 2 on the 20th. And I just invite you to come out and join us for it. This class is at a special rate right now for $197. And I am just so excited about it because it is just really fantastic, y'all. It's so freeing. That word that I brought out in the very beginning, the one about free, that is what this is. It's so freeing. And so I invite you to join me. It's Ashley Torian. If you're just listening to the audio version of this, it's ashleytorian.com/EMRES, EMRES /. And Ashley is spelled with no E. And I will also put that in the description of this audio and visual recording. All right. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So breathe, pause and breathe. It feels so good just to pause and breathe and be in the moment and be with all that gunk, be with all that stress physiology that comes up. It doesn't mean anything other than your body's expressing itself. So just allow your body to express itself and just to see it on its way out the door. Yes, beautiful. It is beautiful work. So find ways this week to be free, to feel freedom. Find ways to integrate and incorporate that feeling every single day. Every single day. How can you incorporate the feeling of free in your body every single day? Beautiful. And then when you come upon those times that are chaotic or the self-doubt comes in, then you simply pause. You simply pause, be with your breath, let that moment pass, being inside the breath, being present, and then ask yourself, turn away from the chaos and the self-doubt and ask yourself, what is your truth? What is your truth in that moment? It will bring you so much power. So happy. Great, Amy. Amy says, great video. Makes me want to go take a walk so I can be in the moment, look deeper and be free. Yes. Yes. Me too. I think I'm on my way out the door as well. All right, everyone. Thank you for being with me this evening. And I look forward to next time, the next Armor Up Talks podcast. It's the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. Central Time here in the Ashley's Biobalance Facebook group. So put that on your calendar, 6 p.m., the first Tuesday of every month. And I will be right here in the Ashley's Biobalance Facebook group. So look forward to seeing you next time.